In today's video, I'm going to show you how I built a little mini course inside of Webflow. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Connor, and on this channel I help people who cannot code build their own online businesses with no-code tools like Webflow, Airtable, and Zapier. So in today's video, I want to take you behind the scenes of a project that I just recently finished working on, which is a little mini course inside of Webflow. So the course is called Fedjobs.ca, and the idea behind the course is to make it easier for people applying for jobs with the federal government of Canada. So the idea for Fedjobs actually came from my wife, who's been working in the public sector for a few years and actually developed a quite good system to get through the individual stages of the hiring process when applying for jobs with the federal government. And she basically figured that why not share what she has learned over the last few years and share that knowledge with people who might be in a position where they're trying to apply for jobs with the government right now. So over the course of a few weeks, we basically came up with a little bit of a script. We kind of thought about what the different modules would be, and then we kind of just got to it. And now it is ready, and now I want to take you behind the scenes and show you how it all turned out. So I'm going to basically go over the tools that I used to build it. I'm going to take you through the individual stages that we went through in order to get this all set up, and hopefully inspire you to start your own mini course using no-code tools like Webflow, Airtable, and Zapier. Now, before we get into it, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you want me to make more content like this where I break down different use cases for no-code tools, then please smash that like button. That is very, very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's actually check out the website. So this is what it looks like. This is all created inside of Webflow, and we actually started off building this little landing page here, and basically it covers the different modules that we go over. It also gives you a little bit of an it gives you a little trailer that you can check out so you can kind of see what it's all about. And then there is also a section where you can log in, and on these pages are all the different modules that you go through when applying for jobs with the federal government of Canada. So just a real quick overview of some of the key features that we included in this for the MVP. So there are a few templates in here that you can just download that basically give you an idea of the different things that you can do in order to prepare for the different stages of the application process. We also have a Calendly button where you can book a one-on-one session with Marielle, who will then basically help you answer certain questions that you might have. And we also have a little bit of an about section with links to all the relevant sections of that particular module, as well as the transcript for this particular video in case you want to read it all. So the way that we created it inside of Webflow is that we actually created all the individual module pages just simply using static pages. So typically you'll probably see people building out these pages with the Webflow CMS, but because we only had a few pages that we wanted to build out, we just decided to do it with static pages for now. So of course, we made everything mobile responsive. The mobile responsive side of things always takes a little bit of time, but it's always absolutely worth it. Now, the tool that we use to basically gate the content and take the payment is Memberstack. Memberstack is my go-to tool for any user account type of business that I set up inside of Webflow. So inside of Memberstack, we only set up one particular membership type, which is just if you have access to the course. So we kept it super simple. We didn't have a lot of different tiers, and basically what you can do is pay a one-off fee, and we also added some coupons in case you want to get discounts on it. So the tool that we use to host all of our videos and then embed them into Webflow was Wistia. Wistia is kind of the tool that I've been using for a while now for all the other little courses that I run. So yeah, it works quite well. So the way that we approached building the entire platform was to actually start off with the landing page. So after I had an idea of what the course would be about, we kind of wanted to start off with just designing this particular page here so that we could kind of get an idea of what information would be on the page, and that would then kind of dictate what the next few steps would be. So after we figured out that these are the key stages that people need to know about in order to get through the different stages of the application process, we created those sections, and then we started working on scripts for those particular sections. Another thing that we did pretty early on was actually create this trailer here so that we could send it to people and kind of get feedback on what they thought about the whole idea of the course. Obviously, a lot of the feedback that we got were from friends and family, which means that you always have to take feedback with a grain of salt if they're not directly your customer. But we were quite happy with how the design of the shot worked. We were quite happy with how the editing went, and it was just a really great place to get started and to set the tone for all the future modules that we were going to work on. So just in terms of the workflows that we had to set up inside of Zapier, we didn't actually have that many different ones to do, at least at the beginning, because really all we need to track is the people that sign up through Memberstack and then any support tickets that come in throughout the process of people using the course. So the way that the support ticket workflow works is pretty easy and straightforward. You just submit this form here. There's also a hidden HTML embed which basically pulls in the Memberstack user ID that then allows us to basically figure out what module they were on when they filled out this form, as well as who the person was that filled out this form. And then all that information just gets sent straight to Airtable and it gets put in the review state. So then we just go over the questions. And when I say we, I mean my wife Marielle. And then once that is done, you can just go and switch it to done and it's all good to go. Now, all up, it took us about 6 weeks to create this little mini course. And a majority of the time was just us filming and editing the videos. And because we both have jobs, we actually just did it on the weekends, which meant that we had to kind of spread it out over a few weeks rather than doing it all at once. So a tip that I have for you if you want to set up your own little mini course is to start off with the landing page so that you can kind of get a rough idea of what the value proposition is that you have for your customers. You can also basically break down how your mini course will be structured, and just going through that process of designing and building the landing page will make the actual process of filming and editing the videos a lot easier because you know exactly what you're going to deliver. So another thing that I learned throughout this process of building this little mini course is that if you want to create a course like this, you don't actually need to create 40 plus videos in order to actually add value to whoever is buying your course. If you can just keep it short and focus on the most essential things that you want to pass on to someone or tips and tricks that you want to share with someone, you are already adding tremendous value and you'll be able to get it done a lot faster. So the next few steps is going to get it out to the people. So we're going to kick things off by setting up some Google AdWords and targeting some search terms that we think are relevant to what we have to offer. We're going to do that for a few weeks and then kind of reassess how things go from there. In terms of us creating more content or modules in the future, we're kind of keeping that one open as well. We want to kind of see what kind of feedback we're getting from people before we end up committing more time to the filming and editing process. But other than that, this is for us a little side project that we just want to experiment with, kind of see how these little mini courses turn out, and then in the future potentially create more of them. But that is pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you a particular use case of where you can basically build something with these no-code tools. Obviously there are a whole bunch of platforms out there, so if you're not that familiar with tools like Webflow, Airtable and Zapier, then obviously go ahead and use those. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on this video. Other than that, I'll see you back here for the next one.